Good morning. My today's topic is melanoma, etiopathogenesis and diagnosis in brief. Primary malignant melanoma evolves from melanocytic precursors via the formation of intermediate lesions of varying stability including acquired and congenital melanocytic nevi and dysplastic nevi. Histologically distinct forms of primary melanoma also exist and they may vary in their capacity to metastasize. Risk factors are family history of melanoma, dysplastic nevi, non-cancerous but unusual looking moles, previous melanoma, many nevi, ordinary moles more than 50, severe blistering sunburns, freckling tendency, fair skin, excessive use of tanning beds, and genetic predisposition. Causes: about 10 to 15% of melanomas are inherited as an autosomal dominant trait with variable penetrance. Some of these familial cases are associated with germline mutations affecting genes that regulate the cell cycle progression or telomerase. The overwhelming majority of melanoma is sporadic and is related to a single predisposing environmental factor, UV radiation, damage from sun exposure. UV radiation is associated strongly with DNA damage. Consistent with a pathogenic role in this disease, sequencing of melanoma genomes has demonstrated a very high rate of point mutation that bears the signature of damaging effects of UV radiation on DNA. Most frequent driver mutations in melanoma affect cell cycle control, pro-growth pathway and telomerase. Some of the more common mutations are mutations that disrupt cell cycle control genes, that is CDKN2A gene, which is mutated in approximately 40% of cases. Mutations that activate pro-growth signaling pathway, a second common group of molecular lesions in sporadic melanoma, leads to aberrant increase in RAS and PI3K/AKT signaling. Mutations that activate telomerase, reactivation of telomerase, the enzyme activity that preserves telomeres and protects cells from senescence, has long been known to be important in cancer. Signs and symptoms: melanoma can appear suddenly as a new mole, or it can develop slowly in or near an existing mole. In men, melanomas are often found between shoulder and hips or head and neck area. In women, melanoma often develops on lower legs as well as between shoulders and hips. It may also appear under fingernails or toenails or on palms or soles. The ABCDE of melanoma. A is for asymmetry. One half of a mole or birthmark does not match the other. B is for border. The edges are irregular, ragged, notched or blurred. C is for color. Color is not the same all over and may include shades of brown, black, sometimes with patches of pink, red, white or blue. D is for diameter. The spot is larger than 6 mm across, about 1/4 inch, the size of pencil eraser, although melanomas can sometimes be smaller than this. E is for evolving. The mole is changing in size, shape or color. Morphology. Melanoma show striking variation in color, appearing in shades of black, brown, red, dark blue and grey. On occasion, zones of white or flesh-colored hyperpigmentation also appear, sometimes due to focal regression of tumor. The borders of melanoma are irregular, often notched, unlike the smooth, round and uniform borders of melanocytic nevi. Central to understanding the progression of melanoma is the concept of radial or vertical growth phases. Radial growth describes the horizontal spread of melanoma within the epidermis and superficial dermis. During this initial stage, the tumor cells seem to lack the capacity to metastasize. Tumors in radial growth phase fall into severe clinicopathological classes, including lentigomaligna, usually presenting as an indolent lesion on face of older men that may remain in radial growth phase for several decades. Superficial spreading, the most common type of melanoma, usually involving sun-exposed skin, and acral mucosal lentiginous melanoma that is unrelated to sun exposure. After a variable and unpredictable period of time, melanoma shifts from radial phase to vertical growth phase, during which the tumor cells invade downward into deeper dermal layers as an expansile mass. Vertical growth phase is often heralded by the appearance of a nodule and correlates with the emergence of a tumor subclone with metastatic potential. The probability of metastasis in such lesions correlates with the depth of invasion, which by convention is the distance from superficial epidermal granular cell layer to the deepest intradermal tumor cells. This measurement is known as Breslow thickness. Individual melanoma cells are usually considerably larger than normal or cells found in melanocytic nevi. They have large nuclei with irregular counters, chromatin that is characteristically clumped at the periphery of nuclear membrane, and prominent triad eosinophilic nuclei. The appearance of tumor cells is similar in radial and vertical phase of growth. Histomorphological types. They are of 5 types: superficial spreading, nodular, lentigo-maligna, acral lentigerous, and amelanotic melanoma. A superficial spreading melanoma shown on the left is the most common histologic type and appears as a flat pigmented lesion growing in radial pattern. The nodular melanoma on the right side shows the second most common type, vertical growth pattern, and it has worse prognosis based on a higher average tumor thickness. A lentigo-maligna melanoma shown on left upper side is due to sun damaged skin, flat darkly pigmented lesion with irregular borders and a history of slow development. The acral lentigerous melanoma is shown on the right on sublingual areas and glabrous skin of palms and soles seen in blacks. The amelanotic melanoma is uncommon, difficult to diagnose, and lacks pigmentation. Clark classification. Level of invasion. Level 1, lesions involving only epidermis, that is in situ melanoma and not an invasive lesion. Level 2, invasion of papillary dermis but does not reach the papillary reticular dermal interface. Level 3, invasion fills and expands the papillary dermis but does not penetrate the reticular dermis. Level 4, invasion into reticular dermis but not into subcutaneous tissue. Level 5, invasion through reticular dermis into subcutaneous tissue. Stage. Clark's level or Breslow depth is shown as in figure. Clark's level are shown on the right hand side. Malignant melanoma, the radial growth phase. Anaplastic melanocytes as shown in the figure are dispersed singly and in small clusters throughout the epidermis and papillary dermis. The malignant melanoma vertical growth phase. In the figure, an expansile nodule of anaplastic cells is infiltrating the papillary dermis. The nodule is clearly larger than the junctional nest of melanoma cells at the left. The epidermis is atrophic and there is usually severe actinic elastosis in the dermis as shown in the above two figures. In the below figure, the lentiginous hyperplasia of hyperchromatic anaplastic melanocytes is seen in atrophic actinically damaged skin. A figure is of lentigo-maligna melanoma. Atypical melanocytes are present along the basal layer and in nest. Acral lentiginous melanoma. Fascicles of hyperchromatic spindled pigment cells are superficially infiltrating the dermis of hyperkeratotic acral skin as shown in figure. The figure shown is of nodular melanoma. The above figure first shows tumorigenic melanoma nodular type, and the lower figure on the left shows the lesional cells of nodular melanoma exhibiting severe uniform cytologic atypia, usually with readily evident mitosis. On the right hand side, S100 immunohistochemical stain is seen. Cells are positive for S100. Treatment. The early stages treatment is by wide local excision. In more advanced stages, wide local excision plus sentinel node biopsy. Based on the pathology, lymphadenectomy, observation, and interferons are given. Metastatic lesions, clinical trial, radiation, and systemic therapy. Thank you.